A very good evening to one and all who have joined this webinar. We welcome you all for Provet 2024 webinar series, and today we are here to start on with the topic Antibiotic Free Growth Promotion, Insights, Field Scenario and Emerging Trends in the Layers and Broilers. We welcome Dr. Chandrasekaran, who is here to provide us valuable insights and emerging trends in this field. And we believe that the webinar will help our stakeholders overcome challenges and keep abreast of the latest trends in the industry. Now over to Dr. Jay Stephen.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So good evening, one and all. Dr. Chandrasekaran needs no introduction. He is well known to all of you. So just to add a few words, so he has been a pioneering researcher. In addition to being the former professional head of animal nutrition and the Department of Animal Nutrition, he has mainly served in Namakkal. So the significant achievements in his repertoire include he has brought in the latest technologies in nutrition and made it as a tool in which the farmers themselves can implement most of the latest technologies in the day-to-day poultry farming. And the tool which he had developed, all of you know, I came to know about Dr. Chandrasekaran mainly from the Excel sheet feed formulation tool. So that has made the feed formulation more accessible and more informative to even the last person. And he has played a crucial role in establishing the analytical feed and the quality assurance laboratory in Namakkal. And he is one of the pioneers in making Tamil Nadu or Namakkal to remain in the forefront of poultry rearing. So I think I can't say more words. You know very well about him. Thank you, sir, for being our guest and presenting valuable insights and your tips in antibiotic free growth promotion. Now over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Stephen and Vijayalakshmi. Good evening to all. We are in the midst of a very severe summer, and I've been running around now. So naturally, what we are expecting in a layer, that is 72 weeks, 330 eggs, broiler 2 kg in 35 days, FCR 1.5, breeder about 166. So naturally, for every 1% production, cost at the 350 per ton. 1 gram feed less per day, ₹10 per bird per year. For every 10 grams increase in body weight in broilers, it is about 90 to 100 per ton. And for every 0.01 FCR, 175 to 200 rupees per ton. For 1% increase in chicks, it is 650 to 700 rupees per ton. Change next. The egg production, and we were earlier of the opinion that we were far ahead of others. So far ahead of others. And so I just compared the hen-house production, ours as well as the other country. On an average, we are able to get 300 to 315 eggs in 365 days. The countries I've compared, T12, Ukraine 290, USA 306, Argentina 291 example. But based on the egg weight, when we compare the egg mass, we are the lowest. Converted to our average weight, you can see EU 349 eggs, Ukraine 329, USA 328, Argentina 325. So they are far ahead of us. Next, please. I've been working on the cost realized, the percentage of feed cost or the income. See, for example, in 2004, 56% was the feed cost or the 1 rupee of the egg cost realized, the egg price not was realized, only 56 paise the farmer was spending as feed cost. You can see it's highly variable. So we say it is normally 73% of the production cost, not the income. But here, throughout, the farmers are struggling from the egg. Only by cultivar rate, manure, other things are coming. Next, please. So that's a PowerPoint to discuss significance of diseases. What is a disease for the human? Antimicrobial usage, resistance, effect on humans, alternative, cost of living, conclusion. Next, please. Next, we'll keep on hitting. Yes. So what are the diseases? Respiratory disease infection, then HIV, diarrhea, tuberculosis, malaria. So these are some human disease. Very significant. Next. So use of antibiotics, you can see in United States, 80% of the antibiotic produced is used in animal production. Not only poultry, even other there is. Similarly, in European Union also, even though restrictions come, after that there is reduction, but there also it was very high. Next, please. Naturally, this now low and middle income countries, they are now going ahead with countries like India and other middle income growing countries. You can say their usage of antimicrobials is increasing compared to higher income group. And you can see that is even Brazil is considered as a growing country. Brazil is verging ahead. South Africa, India, China, all are increasing. Next, please. See, antibiotic use, you can see in 2017, what is going to be in 2030. So naturally, you can see it is going to increase over the period. And China is going to lead the pack. Next, please. You can see over the period from 2015 and 2017, it is compared. In European Union, most of the countries, there is negative growth. They have reduced the antibiotic usage. So in the high income group, in countries, antibiotic usage is coming down. Next, please. The projection is given that what is in 2017 and what is going to be in 2030. You can see China is there is going to be a 7% increase. France about 11% increase. USA 3.8% increase. Thailand 14% increase. India about 7% increase, like that. So only in Iran there is going to be 12% decrease. Others, definitely there is going to be increase in usage of antibiotics. So even though they claim it is going to come, but it is not going to come down. It is going to be a big problem. Next, please. So naturally, poultry production is going to increase over the period. Others are nearly static or only slight growth is there. Next. You can see the resistance for E. coli, the reports. So resistance is keeping on increasing and it is becoming a big problem. Next, please. E. coli, cephalosporins. You can see E. coli resistance to fluoroquinolones. Next, please. So now Klebsiella pneumonia, resistance to cephalosporins. Next. Klebsiella pneumonia, resistance again. Next, please. Next. So actually, Staphylococcus aureus, resistance to beta-lactam antimicrobial drugs. Next, please. So it is increasing. Next, actually same thing. Staphylococcus resistance. Next, just keep pushing. So what is happening is that they have assessed that as the antimicrobial resistance increases, only the low and low middle income group are going to be affected. You can see here that nearly in case of high antimicrobial resistance in 2050, you can see 5.6% will be in the lower middle income group, 4.4% in a lower middle income group. In upper middle income group is 4.4, and higher income group it's going to be 3.1. So here also the lower income group are going to be hit more by the AMR. Next, please. And actually here they have found that these urine samples passed through. It is also increasing over the period. Earlier, the females had a lower level. Now they are reaching 22%. Next, please. What are the various organisms? Mostly E. coli is the major organism. Next, in the isolate. Next. See resistance. You can see the number of and the percentage given in the brackets. For various commonly used drugs, you can see the resistance is keeping on increasing. Next. Yeah, similarly, same thing. So much for ampicillin from 40% to 58% increase from 2009 to 2014. Next, please. So naturally, now we in 2019 FSSAI woke up and they are coming out with the recommendations and standards are going to come. It's still yet to come, but advice has come to stop use of feed antibiotics. Next, please. So steps taken to support animal health with the goal of reducing antibiotic waste in the farm. Next. So you can see the antibiotic from the 1930 to 2007. You can see the various antibiotics development. Now it is really stopped. No new antibiotics are coming. So we have to think about other antimicrobials, natural or pathogenic, or some chemicals. So these are things we are working on. Success rate is slowly we are realizing. Next, please. Even the antibiotic also, whatever we are using, you can see in the 1950s, 60s, the FCR, you can see there was 8% advantage. Now in the 2000 or 2005 or something, it has come down below 1%. Similarly, weight gain advantage also from 13%, it has come down to nearly below 2%. Below 2%. Next, please. So, what alternatives? So we are being given some alternatives which are working, helping us, but still a lot of work is needed. So, what are the alternatives? So, naturally decreasing pathogens. What is antibiotic? Then anti-inflammatory effect, because the loss is not the mortality or thing, loss in performance. When the bird tried to survive by using inflammatory effect, naturally the performance goes. So naturally anti-inflammatory effect is needed. So beneficial bacteria, probiotic, positive effect, it will also do not disturb the beneficial bacteria. Then interest small vitality, naturally the villi, crypt and the surface area. Then rest it's not a that's why antibiotics are being phased out or banned because of resistance issue. So improvement in animal performance. Next, please. So naturally, gut health is more important. The focus on gut health has come because everything, in case of poultry, we have to achieve the optimal gut health to get the performance. So able to against pathogens, capacity to break down feed into constant parts, ability to absorb all digestive nutrients, should be able to tolerate fluctuation in gut conditions. So naturally, gut health requires optimal tissue development, optimal immune system development, because 70% immune gut acquisition of favorable microbiome. Next, please. So what are the causes? So naturally, bacteria is there in broilers, in layers also we find E. coli is a major threat, Salmonella, Clostridium. Now Salmonella, because in case of layers, it is a great problem now after 60 weeks. When we want to keep the birds without remolting up to 100 weeks, so that we can get about 475 eggs or something, it will become a big challenge. So naturally, Clostridium is a major threat, especially in broilers. Layers also we see, but broilers is a major problem. Then enteric viruses. Then what are the causes? Anti-nutritional factors. What are the anti-nutritional factors? The NSPs, mycotoxins. I'm sorry, mycotoxins separate. In case of now we find oxidative rancidity in the oil is a major threat. Recently, when we are unable to assess why in a particular integrator acidity was major, then we found that the peroxide value in the oil went up to nearly 60%. Once we disclosed it came out. So we do not linking acidity to peroxide value was the first time we see, and different complications are seen. Heat stress, naturally heat stress, the enzyme secretions affected, villi structure is affected, everything. Next. So the most important, not only in terms of digestion, absorption, but immunity of the bird, because 70% of immune organs are located in the gut. Next, please. So this is the villi. I think several talks have given there. See, for example, at the hatch, there are two growth points. One is the base, which is permanent, but one that is in the middle, it's only up to first 10 days there. If there is any infection in the gut in the first 10 days, that will go away. Then the mature villi will not attain the full height. So naturally, the efficiency of the villi will go down. Will it affect the performance? No. We have found that the bird is able to eat more to get the production. One example, one trial we found that. I can explain to you the cost of it also. Next. So you can see when it is not poorly developed, in case of subsequent infection, it will still go down. Whereas when you develop, it will not go to that extent, but it is able to come back. You can also the microscopic structure also, because the histological structure, it will be able to tell how it has come back to normal. Next, please. Here, in the first week, because first is the tight junction will be loose, the yolk nutrients can go inside, get absorbed through digestion. That is why. But if your water is not sterile and E. coli is there, it also can come. This you can see in the female, we have recorded E. coli on the second day itself. So naturally, when enterococci and other things are entering in the first day itself, naturally it is affected and the whole batch will be out. So first 10 days your water should be excellent. So what we do, we go for the acidification, as we ask them to go for probiotics from day one in water. That helps a lot. Next, please. This is some sort of a profile of the gut microbe, the favorable as well as the pathogenic organism. You can say in orange colors, they are the problematic, and the possible in green color. But you find that part of E. coli is also there is some green. Yes, Equal is also needed because in our trials, when we found some research reports that formalin was able to sterilize the feed, so we added formalin and gave to that. Then after 21 or 23rd day, necrotic entry was rampant. It was shocked. See, we thought that adding formalin will kill everything, and there's no need for any probiotic or acidification thing. But the necrotic entry was hitting us like we found when we checked the cecum as well as thing, everything, no other organisms were killed. Only there was no competition of Clostridium. It grew well. Total batch was out. Because here, E. coli is the best competitor for Clostridium in the cecum. It will keep it suppressing. So it will not come out. Anterior migration is not possible. Once it is able to grow fast, outsmart these organisms, and there's some stress, then anterior migration comes, you'll see the necrotic entities. So we need E. coli also something in the cecum. So it is not completely a bad one. It is needed. Okay. Naturally, the ratio is that for the commensals or the favorable bacteria to pathogens 85 to 15. If it is there, then everything will be good. Next, please. So naturally, gut microbes, how they function? There are two types. One is luminal. They keep on passing. They do some thing, secrete some antimicrobials, favorable nutrients, everything. They'll keep the pathogens safe, and they also go out. The mucosal microflora, they get attached to the mucosa, and they have a very good relationship with the cells of the mucosa, and we call them as something they establish as some good wavelength. We call them a pilota. Then it will be able to, the quorum sensing like that, it will be able to tell the cell that the level is increasing, be careful. So the cell will produce more mucin, and if it's not possible, they will go for inflammatory. Host different proteins are there. But that is a costly process. Next, we'll go. Next. Next. This is pillow talk. Next. So what happens when that is not able to give different proteins? Then it's a problem because there the response will be inflammatory response, which is a costly process. Naturally, the performance will be affected, digestion will be affected, absorption will be affected. So this is the problem. Now we can support. With some products which are able to replace HDP and reduce the inflammation. Next, please. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. 0 I'm not able to put because getting 0 was difficult. So this whenever we go and open the intestines and see, because as a nutritionist, I'm more bothered about the guts than the other organs. So naturally, next please. See, you can see the villi is affected. As the lesion score increases from 0 to 4. For example, if it is 1, 3% reduction of the height. In case of 6% reduction, 3, 11% reduction, 4, 26% reduction. Next, please. You can see here between the 1 I've given. So we have found that when from 0 to 1 it goes up in the intestine, there is 11% increase in the need. Though efficiency goes down by 11%, the ME requirement is increased by 11% from 0 to 1. So normally in the field condition, I see it is 1, and sometimes it goes up to 2.5. So if the lesion score is 1, the FCR will increase by 0.144. The cost per ton will be equal to 2,800 rupees, the loss per ton. So that is the gap you have for you to add. So you spend, even like you spend 1,000 rupees, still you'll have 1,800 rupees as a profit to contain, to reduce from 1 to near 0. 0 achieving 0 is possible. By 0.2, 0.1 you can bring down. You can spend so much. Even if you spend 1,400 rupees, it's only 50% of the loss. You'll be able to gain 1,400 rupees per ton. One click, Stephen, for egg products, what will be the cost of it? Just, we found that when same thing happens in layer, the cost per egg, loss per egg is 15 paise per egg. Such is the value will lose. So you have a big gap to, so that, because what I'm saying is that many of the farmers are having a mindset as feed manufacturer. They will cost, what is the cost per kg? See, it is, yeah, I tell them, you're a meat producer or egg producer. You should be bothered about the feed cost per egg or per kg of meat, not per kg of feed. So feed manufacturing that is there for nearly all the farmers. That is why we are losing so much of money. So they should be always calculating what is the feed cost per egg, or so then only they will be able to progress. Otherwise, if they are having a feed manufacturing mindset, it will be total loss. Next, please. Naturally, you can see how, in case of Clostridial enteritis, clinical and subclinical also given. In body weight, 5% reduction, in subclinical 4% reduction. FCR 0.05 to 0.1, and here also 0.04 to 0.08. In subclinical also it is dangerous. In clinical, it will be there. Clinical, it is more dangerous. Next, please. So you see, the one of the major problem with Clostridium is that you should manage protein well. So, for example, here you can see as the level of protein in the fecal matter increases, the weight gain reduction is there. You can see when 29 grams per 29 grams per kg is the reduction, is the increase. The daily gain is 61.7, XR is 1.63. Whereas when it goes to 36.3 grams, in the end you can see 4. The FCR goes up to 1.72, and body weight gain is reduced by 4 grams per day. So, such is even though the bird is able to make up weight, only 4 grams is a different day gain, but FCR daily 0.09. What is the loss per ton? 200 rupees. Every 0.01 it is 200 rupees. Nearly 1,008 rupees the loss. Next, please. Again, next is the viscosity or NSTs. You can see the viscosity is increased in the right side. That viscosity is increased because soluble fibers. Whereas in insoluble fibers, it's a big problem. It will not affect. But here, the soluble fibers are there. Thing. Then you have to NSP enzyme. Okay. Next, please. So naturally, so you can see as the what insoluble. See if I can see the your NSP, the thing, and here NSP next is NSP. So this you can see a reduction is a linear reduction is there as the level increases, NSP increases. Sorghum, wheat, calican is given. So it is actually inversely proportional to the level of NSP. Mycotoxin, these are mycotoxins which are recorded in Namakal, and I can say nearly 40% of toxins the material contain. 25% of the material, 20% of material contain 3 toxins, 10% contain more than 3 toxins, only 25% contain single toxin. So this is the scenario. Next, please. Naturally, when you can see effect of toxin on the gut, the integrity goes. Naturally, the organism can directly go inside. Next, please. So now we are talking about same thing already. I've told about anti-inflammatory positive effect of beneficial bacteria, industrial mortality, no resistance. Okay, this is the same thing. Next, please. So what are for antibacterial activity? Enzymes. Enzymes are not directly involved in antibacterial activity. They deplete the nutrient. They increase the digestibility and absorption. Okay, so naturally, very little will go down. So the organisms are stopped to death. Probiotics naturally they come to explosion. They are very important. Organic acids, they don't go and look in the intestine. They start the work in crop. They improve the digestion in the probiotic and gizzard and absorb some minerals in duodenum. That's all. After that, they get neutralized. It is only probiotic, prebiotic. They work there. Prebiotics are nutrients are probiotics. So they grow well. So probiotics very important daily of the food. So anti-inflammatory probiotics, antibiotics. So antibiotics are what mostly essential oils. So intestinal integrity and villi height, organic acid, enzyme, antibiotics, probiotic, vitamins. Improving the digestibility, naturally enzymes, organic acid. Next, please. Now antibiotics are not working very well. Nutrients, vitamins, vitamins and fluorine are able to control the pathogens. Probiotic is completely inclusive. So 5 to into 10 to the power of 7 per gram of feed is needed. Prebiotic are oligosaccharide. Then as repair, modifying the pH, the pathogens. Antibiotics are or essential oil. All essential oil, natural, very effective. They are equal to antibiotic, antioxidant effect is there, anti-inflammatory effect is there, and also it improves the digestion. Enzymes actually depleting nutrients. Next, please. Naturally, symbiotic, probiotic, prebiotic, or acidifier, how they work. They combine, they have very excellent combination. So that is continuous feeding is essential. Next. Some of the reports like that, how villi high gut health is improved, even in heat stress condition. For example, how probiotics are able to see, for example, the two probiotics as the 10 to the power 7, its concentration. I think now most of the things are coming at 10 to the power 9. Even 10 to the power 7, they were able to act very well. You can see in the normal thing, the villi height in ileum is 29.7 micron. In the heat stress condition, the probiotic P, A2, you can see 611 has come. So it is nearly equal to the 6 days after thing, 12 days after thing, both are nearly equal. Whereas there was great reduction in the heat stress bird. Other probiotic, because of low concentration, it is not able to equally perform, but it is better than the heat stress bird. Similarly, with the crypt that also villi crypt ratio, everything is probiotic is able to give a better. Next, please. So in the you can see the immunoglobulin level. They are able to in a heat stress bird, it is reduced very much in the ileum and cecum, you can see. Whereas in the probiotic patch, it is nearly able to bring up to support it. So naturally, probiotic plays a very high role, very good role in case of heat stress. And now we can see heat stress is the major problem. Wherever I go, it's we only back. I came back from a tour, and severe heat stress, huge mortality is reduction production. So naturally, we have to support that. Not only the electrolytes, probiotics plays a major role. And in water, I also ask them to go in water also, apart from feed. Such is the stress it is on. Next, please. Nearly egg production in heat stress also it is able to bring back from 50% in the heat stress bird. You can see the probiotic one is 60% or 10% nutrition, whereas it is 14% nutrition. Probiotic 2 because it is 10 to the power of 7. Egg weight also is a thing. Feed intake also restored. Feed intake 110 from 95 grams is coming to 110. So naturally production is good. Next please. Similarly, essential oils, different level, 150 milligram per kg, 300 milligram per kg, 450 milligram per kg, along with the STPs. So we can find the average daily feed intake is improved. You can see the laying rate, 95%, 150 milligram is able to support very well and giving a better FCR. Next, please. So naturally, SDP for the instead of the SDP, so you can go in for butyrate, vitamin D3, probiotics, antibiotics. They are able to compensate that host defense proteins because if the host has to secrete the protein, it becomes inflammatory reaction. Now these are able to essential oils, probiotics, vitamin D3, butyrate, they are able to compensate that. The activity is equal to that of host defense proteins. Next, please. Now performance improvement. So improvement in performance also needed. Next, please. So taking care of gut health, already we have talked about creating conditions for better performance of the enzyme, enhancing the nutrient availability. Next, please. Next, please. So you can see the pH of the bird, the broiler, 8 and 38 day. You can say layer also 6 will be same. So for example, when the bird the 8th day, you can see this the pH of the crop is 6 out of 7.6, whereas when the water pH 5.8, 8th day the crop is 6. When the pH of the water is 8.1, it is 7.6. Similarly, you can see different. Normally, the pH of the proventriculus and the gizzard should be 2. Then only the performance will be better. The digestion will be better. And duodenum also, it should be below 6, 5.8, 5.5 is the best thing. Next, please. So, naturally, acidifier has to be given. Often they only act in the foregut, lower pH, thereby optimizing enzyme activity. So, naturally, it becomes a nutrient also for the probiotic nitric acid, antibacterial effect. They also stimulate the gut, especially villi. Next, please. You can see the effect of water pH. By acidifying the water, what we are able to achieve. 8th day bird, 38th day bird. You can see the feed digestibility. Diamond feed digestibility. When the pH is 8.1, the digestibility is 74. When it is 5.8, it is 85. So nearly 9% increase. 38th day, it is 79 and 82. So naturally, 3% increase is there. See the protein. There is very, very, very good thing. In 8th day, you can see 19% increase. In the 38th day, there is 5% increase. 5% increase in protein digestibility for every 1% per ton, it is equal to about 550 to 600 rupees. Then calculate what will be the better. But 5% increase means huge difference. Next, please. So then I was presenting it in AP, Andhra Pradesh. So one of the farmer, so he contacted me and asked me how to. I told him go for the acidification of the water. Then so he has given, see, for example, tank. Last right side you can see there is water with 8 pH. Then he started to add acidifier, and it's coming to 6.7, 6.5. So yeah. Next, just click there, Stephen. You can see after some time he recorded 5 grams reduction in the feed intake per bird. The saving for his farm per year, it was found at 1.75 crore, equivalent to 15 paisa per egg. That was a huge saving. And the health of the bird also, he says now he has put a hot doser. Based on the pH, it adds acid. So acidifying the water gives a great deal. So you can see what is the amount of saving per egg. Next, please. This is what I told day one. What happened? We wanted to see that whether from day one we start. I think we took a trial. One shed there was news. I think we day one it started. First day we gave very high level probiotic because it was the recommendation was 0.1 kg per ton. We asked them to give 1 kg per ton for one day. That is flood cut. Then we go for probiotic, selenium, emulsifier, then other like antibiotics. So we want to see that the bird becomes ideal. Then other birds continue till the end. Both gave the same product, 328 or something it came. Both. But per egg consumption in the where they got to have the best gut health, it was 118 grams per egg, whereas it was 135 grams per egg is the other thing. So the bird consumed 37 kg here and 46 kg was in those days. So the feed cost per bird varied from 160 to 860. Net profit was more, 100. Both were profitable, 100 rupees per increase. And in terms of the ton of feed, it is equal to 2,380 rupees per ton of feed. So what we spent was peanuts. We spent more than 300 rupees per ton. Only one day it was very check, one day check. After that, it was only. So and some farmers now they say how to do, we are using chemicals. So they don't do it in water. You have to break it in water, give height one day, acidify everything, take care of water. And they are able to do it. So at least consume. Next, please. So one farmer tried. He also, because in I gave a talk, and he tried. And his farm average now, recently I met him 3 or 4 months back. He told, sir, I'm following for nearly 3 or 4 years. Now farm average is 94%. All the 5 batches are remaining, sir. Farm average is 94%. And performance is excellent, sir. Bird health is excellent. And is so next, please. Actually using enzyme. Next, please. So you can see here the top when enzyme was used. You can see the right side microbial population yellow. It is very low. When enzyme was not used, you can see a lot of the dark color are staying the starch granules. High level of starch is going to the lower into the ileum. You can see the number of organisms. So because this becomes the nutrient for the organism, naturally they grow very well. Naturally, then after that, sometimes there is stress, anti-migration, infection. That is the thing. So you have to detect nutrient also. As the nutrient goes down, it is a big problem. Next, please. So NSP, and so you can see there is increase in the thing. This is our broiler trial. How the energy level, even though we get a reduced energy diet, different dose of enzyme, they were able to partially grow. So return of interest was 1:5. Next, please. Some may ask whether amylase is needed or not. Yes, amylase also helps. At least 2 to 3% increase in the rice sugar to be formed. Yes, please. Next. Increase in diet of protease. You can see the different amino acids were various levels of thing, but still from 2% to 11% was the difference. But still there was increase in the digestibility. Next. In summer, this is the problem. See, there is a reduction. Cold stress does not affect much. Whereas in normal, where you can see in the east, the amylase is reduced by 24%. Amylase is reduced by 25%. The I'm sorry, your trypsin is reduced by 38%. Chymotrypsin by 37.5%. Now both 38%. Both reduced. So naturally, many farmers are some are already not eating much. Why to add enzyme? I tell them, don't take it as a matrix value, just add on top of it. Because that will help. Because summer heat says the enzyme secretion is reduced. Whatever regular of a kg you are adding in, you take it as a new antibiotic and solve it by matrix value. Beyond that, another 200 to 250 grams you add on top because of the heat stress, the enzyme secretion is reduced. Next, please. This is various. So I have not given the details about the long laying period uniformity. See, long laying period is that a grower cost was around 328 rupees, 28 weeks. If you are getting 315 eggs from them, then the grower cost per egg comes to nearly about 1 rupee. Now we are able to keep the bird up to 100 weeks and get 475 eggs. You will be able to save 37 paise because of the same grower. The grower cost is reduced by 37 paise per egg. Uniformity. We found that when the uniformity is brought, it reduces the mortality, reduces the pullet eggs numbers, and production also is improved. Feed efficiency is improved. So by that, we are able to reduce 12 paise per egg. Reduction in lesion score, I told you, 15 paise. Reduction in drink water pH, 15 paise per egg. Enzyme impact, even though we are giving about 5%, I'm taking 2%, 8 paise. Total 87 per egg, 87 paise, you can reduce. So every aspect you have to see what are the different intervention strategies you can do to bring down the cost. Broiler, per ton of feed I work, for every body weight increase in 10 grams, it will be 90 rupees per ton. For every point FCR, why not 200 rupees per ton? For mortality, every 1% reduction, 320 rupees per ton. So these are things which you have to work on. Next, please. So gut being the largest organ, naturally, the bird, any thought of efficiency should start in the gut. And the maximum immune organs in the gut. So gut also the lymphatic tissue plays the maximum role in health of chicken. So maximum reduction in feed cost per egg and feed cost per kg can be done by taking care of the gut. Next, thank you. I hope I was able to touch some points of yours.
Sir, it was very enlightening. I'll just summarize the question and answers.
Yes, you can go ahead.
1 minute. Yeah, just a minute. Okay, sir. The first question one of the customers asked, like in the recently based on the enzyme usage. So they have asked that should we increase the supplementation? Say, for example, during cold stress or in summer stress.
Cold stress, there is no need. Cold stress, there is no need. Only in heat stress.
Okay, only in heat stress. So you are you suggesting? Are you suggesting just to
don't take the matrix values?
Okay.
You should not take the matrix. You on top, 250 grams, I ask them to on top. Whatever enzyme you are using regularly, in addition to that, on top, about 200 to 250 grams you can add to compensate for the reduction of the endogenous enzyme.
Okay, sir. So the next question, one person has asked, like, say, you are suggesting like adding acidification. So what about problem waters? Like when the water hardness is more than 500 or 600, 700. So do these benefits which we are accruing to the bird, is it same?
He's talking about 600, 700. I'm in a place where it is 1500. So you have to standardize. For example, what we do, the amount of acid depends on your pH. The pH is 8. As the TDS goes high, pH will go naturally high. Here 8 to 8.5 is our pH in Namakkal. We add about 0.5 ml of the water, per liter of water we add, or 500 ml per 1000 liters. Whereas in some other places where the TDS is 400 or 300, they add only 0.2 ml per liter or 200 ml per 1000 liters. So you have to standardize. You have to have a pH paper or pH meter, check, add, you take a syringe, add 0.1 ml C, 0.2 ml C. If the pH has come to 6, then it will be very useful. Because it's not only the digestibility, yes, that is right. The activity of the chloride. See, whether you're using a tablet or a bleaching powder, both are hypochlorite. If the pH is 6, the activity of the chlorine is 96% active, and the pH is 7.5. I'm sorry, if the pH is 7, it is only 50% effective. Efficiency is 50%. The pH is 8, it will be 15% effective. You'll have chlorine. 3 people are we are adding, but E. coli is there. Your pH, high pH, it will not be hypochlorous acid. It will be hypochlorite. Hypochlorite cannot function as a sanitizer. Only hypochlorous acid is an oxidant.
Yes.
So you have to have the pH. See, for example, with the pH is 7.5 or 7, and you are adding pH, you may have to wait for 1 hour or 1.5 hours for that to act. When the pH is 6, within 10 seconds, 30 seconds, everything will be finished. It will be more active. So pH, the pH is very important. You can add chlorine, check the chlorine will be 3 ppm. But if its pH is 8, the activity is 15%. That will not work. So you have to.
Okay, sir. One more question, sir.
Activity of the sanitization also pH plays a major role.
Okay, sir. One more person has asked about, like you had suggested in the enzymes amylase, protease. So what about mixture of enzymes like cocktail enzymes?
NSP enzyme. That's what I told NSP enzyme. I gave you NSP enzyme. 1:5 is the ROA. NSP enzyme. Plays a major role.
Okay. One more question on, like, today there are lot of diseases are there due to vaccination. We are having the interplay of many diseases. Like, what do you think is the future? Like, the question exactly is, say, today we don't have an option for anticoccidials. Anticoccidials have to be definitely used. And we are having these probiotics also. So what will be the impact of these anticoccidials on probiotics? And do you see a way out for antioxidants also, like AGPs in future?
See, then you have to go for coccidia vaccination, but then still you have to go for antioxidants. There is no option for you. You have to see. So far, they have not touched antioxidants. That is coccidiosis is a major problem in case of broilers. No doubt in that. You have to work on it. The probiotics are complementing the antioxidants. They will be able to see that the efficiency is improved. Yes, because when the coccidials, the coccidia, the virulence or the thing is, they are complemented by Clostridium. Clostridium and coccidia go hand to hand. So once Clostridia takes the upper hand, coccidia also will take upper hand. Probiotics are able to control the Clostridia. So your anticoccidial will be able to work efficiently on the coccidia.
Okay, sir.
Probiotics are more important than coccidiosis is a big problem. In water also you have to give.
Sir, and one more question from one of the audiences is, they had asked about this acidifiers, like whether a normal acidifier versus a, say, acidifiers with a coated or fat-based matrix, which will be more advantageous?
See, one thing, whether coated or uncoated, beyond duodenum, acidifier cannot work. In my experience, in my trials also, because the pH of the intestine has to be nearly 7. Near 7 it has to be. If it is going low, the enzymes or the enteric enzymes will not work. Naturally, if you add more acidifier, the pancreas will keep on secreting, pumping in more bicarbonate to increase the pH. So it will be counterproductive. So we did a trial where we did, one of the trial we had 5 kg of enzyme per ton. I'm sorry, acid aggregate per ton. In that batch, that was the lowest performing batch because digestion was affected. Pancreas kept on pumping more bicarbonate to increase the pH. That was pancreatically, the efficiency was low. So that's what I told, your acidifier works up from crop, proventriculus, gizzard, duodenum. Beyond that, it will be neutralized. You coated or uncoated, coated means iron has come out. Lipase has to remove that, it will come out. And once it interfaces with the local pH, immediately bicarbonate will secrete it. Because the enzyme needs the pH to act. That pH has to be maintained. You cannot reduce the pH for bacteria because your enzyme will not act.
Yes, sir. Sir, one more question from one of the audiences. While you were discussing this various options, you had given more stress on using acidifiers and bringing down the pH so that so having acidifier as the main option or the main weapon in maintaining gut health. So is that what you recommend, or like there are many options, enzymes?
It is one of the options. See, the digestion has to be improved. If the digestion is not improved, more nutrient will go down. That will be a very good nutrient for the pathogens. So how to improve the nutrition? When acidifier, when the pH is brought down, 5% increase in protein digestibility. Protein is the main danger. So you are depleting the protein means the bacteria will not survive.
Yeah,
acidifier is one of the point. You have see it is now the stress is so high. You have to depend on essential oils. You have to depend on other phytobiotics also. You have to have your emulsifiers. Everything you have to take care of everything. It's not a single thing. So acidifier is one part. One part is to increase the digestibility. The second part is to improve the performance of sanitizers.
Okay, sir. One more question from our audience. How judiciously they have to employ various tools like these enzymes and these acidifiers and say these probiotics, then various other options. Like how should a farmer or a nutritionist play with these all options? Like any guidance or tips for using all these options? I think it will be a bit.
See, nowadays, because there are so many slides, I didn't think. The level of contamination in the water is very high. Second point, even the feed will contain a lot of Clostridium, Staphylococcus, E. coli, everything contributions there. So you have to have a multi-pronged strategy. It is not a single effect. Acidifier to see that your sanitizer works very well. It will take care of the protease, protein digestion, and feed digestion, both. Second, what about the controlling other organism, probiotics? Prebiotics to support the probiotics. Then essential oils you take care of, because antibiotics you are not supposed to use. Essential oil will take care of the pathogens. And also it is an immunomodulator. So gut immunity has to be improved. So it is not a single affair. Everything, see, you have a machine in your hand. Both broilers and layers is a machine in your hand. And you have the loss is so much. Even you are able to lose 100 grams per bird. Then your loss is nearly 900 rupees per ton. You lose 0.1 FCR, it is 2,000 rupees per ton. Here, if you lose about 10 eggs, your bird instead of 110 grams, your 105 grams, your bird eat 110 grams, 5 grams means for 1 lakh bird, think it is 50 lakhs one. So the loss is so huge. You have to take care of every point. It's not a single thing because challenges are very high. One exposure to AVND we call it because we are not supposed to talk about AA. One exposed to AA, how many eggs you lose? Not less than 50 eggs. Even though the mortality is there, you reduce the mortality, you remove the feed, bring it back, it comes back to normal in 15 days. You are reaching to 60 days. 2 outbreaks, 30 eggs is gone. What is the average if you are taking layer? Many farmers, we think now they take only 290 to 300 eggs. 30 eggs, 1 lakh means 30 lakh eggs is gone. 1.2 crore. So, see, the loss is huge. You don't have an option. Every aspect you have to count. As if you are on a battlefield, which you do not know which is hitting you. The loss is huge because the farm size is bigger. Earlier, 2,000 bird farm, 5,000 bird farm, family run farm, everything they will work. Now, the margins are very, very low, sometimes negative. So, yeah, you don't have much option. That's why I showed you what is the gap. How much you can spend to get the optimal performance. And even if you spend 50% of the loss, another 50% you will be able to get.
Yes, sir, we can understand. So one last question, sir. One last question. So one customer has asked about like what is the impact of these pesticides and fertilizers in producing like lesions in the birds and their effect on gut health, like
See,
pesticides and
suboptimal level is there, always is there. It's a problem. Definitely, we have to attend to that because we are not much concerned now as it is not affecting the performance of the bird. That is why we are not concerned. But days are coming where our products should be free of those. The problem now is not for the bird. The level what is there in the pesticide rarely now. Earlier, I've seen a lot of problems. Now, in the past decade, 2.5 decade, I've not seen pesticide-oriented problem. I've not seen. So, but when we analyze the products, residues are there. We have to take care of that. Responsibility is there. But that is also very, very low level within the limits. But we have to keep working on that. Even though it is not affecting the performance of the bird, or growth, or FCR, the residue is the problem. We have to take care of
that. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. I am just handing over to Miss Bhanureka, who is handling Provet Communications.
Hello, sir. Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We had a wonderful session today. It was totally a concoction of the subject, I would say, being the center of focus, the antibiotic free growth promotion. We have touched upon different topics like gut health, the efficiency, farming business, and heat stress, cost impacts, etc. So it has brought some valuable insights to all of us. So on behalf of Provet, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for your unwavering support for making this webinar a resounding success. I would like to express a sincere appreciation to you, sir, the guest of honor, Dr. D. Chandrasekaran, for your insightful remarks and sharing your wisdom with all of us. That was very wonderful. And I hope these exchange thoughts will bring more clarity for an effective practice and help us to overcome the challenges together in the conduct of the poultry farming business. So we plan to host more webinars of this kind in near future as well. So I wish everyone a great success in their respective professions in the poultry field to excel well. And please stay tuned with all our social media updates. So we can, the next time when we'll be planning the other webinar, you all will be having an update on that as well. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
See you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
We'll end the webinar, sir. Thank you.